Hello everyone. In this particular video, we are going to do the essay 220, Quality Control for an Audit of Financial Statement. Now you need to first understand why is the standard and what is the exact meaning of the heading. Okay, so that becomes a very important point. Once you get a link of what is the standard talking about, then understandability is quite easy. Okay, now first of all, they say quality control for an audit of financial statement. When we talk about regular auditing practices and all, we always tell that the management has to maintain internal control system in the organization. So this internal control, basically, what we do, we understand that it has been, implemented or designed by the management for the smooth functioning of the operation, so that whatever they have decided, it should be happening accordingly. Their objectives are met effectively, etc. So that is the reason they have controls in place. On the similar lines, when the audit is conducted, the audit firm will also have some controls kept in place. These controls are for the purpose of maintaining quality of the audit that you're going to perform. Now, when I say that we are going to do an audit, so I belong to a particular firm and I'll be doing the audit. Now, this audit should be of a quality. Audit is a main responsibility, a major responsibility given to chartered accountants. So don't you think the audit firms also will have controls in place to ensure that their quality of the audit has been really good? Yes. So those controls which they are going to place, we call them to be quality control. Okay. So here what is basically going to happen is this standard is going to tell the auditor that you have to maintain quality of the audit that you're performing. So the firms have to have quality controls in place. All right. Now, basically what you mean by the term quality is that your audit has to be according to the statutory, regulations, that is the standards requirement. Along with that, it should also be able to give an appropriate audit report in the given circumstances. That means if it is unmodified opinion, you should be able to actually generate unmodified opinion. And if there are material misstatements identified, you should be able to give a modified opinion. So when you are able to do both of these things correctly, that means we are telling that yes, your audit is of quality. Correct? So quality basically simply means that the audit has to be done as per the standards on auditing and all the statutory requirements, like we have section 143, we have CARO requirements, all of those. So that means you have done those correctly. And the audit report that you're issuing is also appropriate in the given circumstances. If these two things you're doing, that means your audit has been done with good quality and there is a quality standard which has been maintained. Correct? Now, this standard is going to talk about two quality control things that we are going to check. First of all, an engagement partner is responsible, okay, for the purpose of maintaining the quality of the audit, because he's going to stand in the position of a leader, because engagement team will be led by whom? Engagement partner. So imagine you're going to do the audit of maybe Reliance Industries. So one part of the Reliance you are going to audit. So you are the engagement partner. So with an engagement partner, basically, there are going to be firms, like assume there are 5 partners. So out of all the 5 partners, everybody is not going to do the audit of Reliance. There will be one out of those 5 partners who will be going and performing the audit assignment of Reliance. He will be going along with the team. So the entire team will be called as the engagement team. And the auditor who is going, we call him to be engagement partner. Correct? Now, this engagement partner, he will be responsible to maintain the quality of the audit that he's performing. So don't you think the engagement team, what work they are doing, he will monitor it properly. He will be acting like a leader. He'll be giving all the instructions. He will be reviewing their work and seeing whether everything is been appropriately is done or not. If they encounter some difficult situations, he will be helping them to resolve it. Correct? He will also be checking that if suppose during the course of audit, if there was something that they identified, which they should, if they would be knowing it earlier, they would have not taken the engagement. So don't you think he's going to take all the steps and measures in order to deal with these situations? Yes, because ultimately his goal is that whatever he does as a part of his audit, the ultimate audit should be of quality. Quality means what? He should be able to comply with all the relevant standards on auditing and all the statutory requirements which are on him. Along with that, he should be able to issue an appropriate audit report in the given circumstances. If all of these things are there, that means the quality has been maintained. So for that purpose, he will be acting like a leader and he will be guiding the entire engagement team. Correct? Then, second part of the standard is going to talk about an engagement quality control reviewer. Now, this is something new that you're going to understand. Basically, this concept comes in the case of listed entities. What happens is in the listed entities, suppose if there are 5 partners, and in my example, I told you Mr. A is the engagement partner and he's doing the audit of Reliance. Reliance is a listed entity, correct? Now, here we say is this standard makes it mandatory that when you are doing an audit of a listed entity, compulsory before the audit report is issued, the work of this engagement partner has to be reviewed by either another partner or you'll be having another external party coming and reviewing the work. That means once you do the audit, directly you cannot submit the audit report to the members of Reliance. You cannot do that. There has to be a quality check happening on it. This is one of the quality policies, the policies and the procedures established by the audit firms for the purpose of maintaining quality of their audit. How the management is designing internal control for maintaining operating effectiveness, correct? Similarly, audit firms will also have quality controls in place in order to ensure they are auditors of quality. So one of these procedures, which is given by the standard itself, is telling that if it's a listed entity and you are doing the audit of listed entity, then in that case, suppose if I am the engagement partner, once my audit is completed, then I will have another partner. So out of the 5, there could be another partner or maybe 2 partners who are going to actually review my work. And after they review my work, only then the audit report can be issued to the members of Reliance. Until then, it cannot be released. Correct? So this what is happening, we call it to be quality control review. Okay, which is done by whom? Either another partner or you'll be having some outsourced third parties to come and do the quality control review. So here in the standard, we are talking about 2 things. One is that the engagement partner is going to review the work of his engagement team. Second, the work of the engagement partner will be reviewed by some other person. Correct? So there are 2 reviews. One internal, other is for the purpose of issuing the report before that the work has been done. Correct? So this quality control which is happening, these 2 reviews are for what purpose? To ensure there is a quality in the work of the audit. Because audit is something, it's a responsibility because of which the, the credibility of the financial statements or maybe the confidence of the users of the financial statements will be enhanced. So don't you think you have a responsibility to maintain even a quality standard for it? Yes. That means if the quality is not maintained, then how are you going to tell the users that our work is of quality there? Correct? So the audit firms, okay, the engagement partners will be responsible first to design the quality control policies. And then while the work has been performed, these quality control policies have to be adhered to. Like for example, we could say one of the quality control policy would be that whenever an engagement team member comes across a difficult situation or maybe a significant risk, he cannot decide anything by himself. He has to first communicate it with the firms, the engagement partner. And there could be some control policies such that if the the engagement partner has come across certain situations, he has to compulsory communicate with other partners also of the firm. So there are going to be some controls established so that when at the end, when the report is given, we also have the understanding that yes, evidences have obtained, conclusions have drawn, and our audit is of quality. So basically, this standard is talking about the quality to be maintained while performing the audit. So it is not connected with what we do with the client. It is connected with what we are doing of the audit and what quality control policies are we to follow when we are performing the audit in order to ensure that our audit is really good. Correct? So here, 2 things. One, engagement team will be led by or maybe will be head by an engagement partner. So first, engagement partner is given a responsibility that he has to actually instruct properly the entire team. He has to review their work. He has to check the documentation prepared by them. If they come across difficult situation, he has to help them resolve it. If there is any matter which they have come across during the course of audit, which even the engagement partner is unable to resolve, then he should communicate with the other partners of the firm and get the matter resolved. Correct? Similarly, on the other side, we have the engagement quality control reviewer, where the work of this engagement partner will be reviewed by another person. Correct? That could be a partner or it could be some third party. But they will review the work, and this is mainly important in the case of listed entities. That means you cannot issue the audit report unless this kind of review has been conducted. So in this review, what will happen? The documentation will be reviewed by this third party or the other partners, and they will see whether work has actually been done correctly or not. So in that case, the quality control review will be conducted. So basically, this standard is giving the audit procedures through which you'll be able to establish quality controls are there or not there, and whether the audit that has been performed is of a proper quality or not. Correct? So here we are going to study about the procedures. First, we'll do some definitions which are given. Okay, these definitions are only for your understandability. And then we'll go into the procedures that I mentioned. Okay. Now, all of you on the page 15.4, SA 220, quality control for an audit of financial statement. That means you should have controls in place. You are who? The audit firm. You should have a quality control policy established so that you should be able to ensure that the audit that you are performing is of good quality. Okay, then. Engagement documentation is nothing but documentation. Documentations are all the informations or all the evidences that you have captured during the course of audit, which you are going to pile up in a folder. Correct? Then, engagement partner, out of all the partners or all the people in the firm, the one who's going to take the responsibility of the audit engagement or the audit assignment, we call him to be engagement partner. Engagement quality control review, those partners or the third parties who are going to review the engagement. Correct? Then, whatever work is done by the engagement team, the engagement partner and his team, whatever work they have been doing, okay, their work will be first reviewed before a report is issued. Quality control reviewers are the partners of the third party. Engagement team is the engagement partner along with the people who are going to go for the audit. Firm could be a sole proprietor, because even sole proprietors are called as firm when it comes to audit. As partnership firm, they are also called as firms. Inspection, obviously, when the engagement quality control reviewers, when they are going to see how the work has been performed, you cannot have a time machine and go back and see how they have done the work. So today only the evidence that you have will be the documentation. So this documentation will be inspected by the engagement quality control reviewer. Correct? Then monitoring. Once you establish the quality control policies, it is very important that you also monitor them. So the engagement partner will also make the policies and also will monitor that when the audit is conducted, whether these policies have been adhered by the team or not. So that's called monitoring. Network firms, you're saying company audit, all the firms coming under the common network will be called as the network firm. So PwC India, PwC Bangalore, PwC Hyderabad, PwC Pune, all are network firms. They're all coming under the common control. Then you have staff, which is the professionals, everybody inside the organization